This Let's Play was supported by these awesome hobby companies.
Hello everybody and welcome to Let's Play Darkest Dungeon. Myself and Gerry are in the studio today, masked up, being safe, and we are joined by Leo from Mythic Games. Hi Leo, it's good to see you, buddy.
Hello, how are you?
We're still just being careful over here.
I can see that.
So, for this game, this is a game that you guys are bringing to Kickstarter, isn't it, Leo? Is it launched yet, or is it just about to launch?
It's about to launch. It's launching on October 20th at 1 p.m. EDT. That's Eastern Daylight Time. That's probably what is it? Is it 6 p.m. British time? So it's launching very, very soon, and we couldn't be more excited.
Well, I mean, like I will admit, as soon as I heard that you guys were doing this, I actually went out and bought the video game that it's being converted from, just to start getting a feel and a flavor for it. Yeah, the game, the digital game is super harsh. I'm hoping you've kept that for the board game. Well,
yeah, it's harsh, but you will take it easy to start with, but it's on the long term that it's difficult. It's a campaign, and you really have to manage your heroes, your stats to level up enough if you want to beat the game. Otherwise, it's going to be tough.
What's your own thoughts, Gerry?
I'm wondering whether or not I can throw you to the wolves. That is generally my thoughts on these things. I have a feeling I probably can't in this instance.
Well, I mean, like, it is a cooperative game, so play nice.
That's what they tell me.
Now, one important thing about the game, you can play the game between 1 and 4 players. The only difference is, with it being a 2-player game at the minute, myself and Gerry will be controlling 2 different heroes. If it's 4 players, you each control 1. If it's 3, one person controls 2, two people control 1. I would suggest that's really good for a teaching game if you got someone more experienced teaching 2 other people. And if you're playing 1 player, you will just control everybody. Have I got that right, Leo?
That's exactly it. And you control, that's a difference from the video game, because in the video game you play solo and you control a big team of heroes, not necessarily always the same ones. Here you control the same character throughout the campaign. You try to make them survive. You only have to change them if they're dead. And once you're dead in this game, just like the video game, you're dead. You're dead forever.
And so, Gerry, you could throw me to the wolves. It just means I have to reincarnate.
Yeah. It's not necessarily a bad thing.
Now, for today's Let's Play, we're just going for a simple, straight-up, one-off dungeon delve. So what are we going to be doing, Gerry?
Well, this is the rising threat. So our objective in here is time passes and the demons grow stronger as they cast an ever heavier shadow upon your very existence. That's why you were tasked to enter the runes and cull their numbers by putting them to the sword. So curio rooms always have battles when spawning monsters. These little cards, when you draw them, you draw 2 and you pick one as a sort of a collective. So we had this, or we had a wipe them out was the other game. But in this instance, the card tells us we get 1 XP for every cleared curio room. And then you randomly select your dungeon pattern and then randomly place the tiled tokens they tell you to put on here. So we have 2 empty rooms with 3 curio, 1 trap, and 2 battle rooms.
I see.
So they've all been deployed onto our little dungeon delve all ready for us to go.
I see. So this should be quite interesting. So is there anything we need to do before we enter the dungeon, Leo?
Well, yes. Well, first of all, you need to know that you can make 1 experience point. You can gain 1 experience point per curio room, which means you could make from 1 to 3 experience. You can gain from 1 to 3 experience in this quest. So that's something to remember. And before you enter, you will have to roll for your provisions.
Okay, so provisions are these white D6 with some custom symbols on them. So on here you can see we've got some food. You've got what looks to be some medicine, some bandages, the DD is wild. You've also got a spade on there, and I think there should also be, a torch on there as well. So each of these are things that are going to help us while we're down in the dungeon. Yeah, Leo?
That's exactly it. You will have to really manage these provisions because you only have them for the whole duration of this dungeon, this particular dungeon. Once you are out of them, well, you have to suffer the negative effect of your encounters in the corridors.
Right, so shall we, Gerry?
Yes.
All right, so I got some bandages and a wild.
So the while you could choose whichever side you want.
I also got food and a torch, which is quite useful. So I'm just going to wait to see exactly what we have before I decide what I'm going to turn the wild into.
I got a torch, a potion, a tool, and also a wild.
Okay, so we've got one of everything and 2 torches.
Yep.
Honestly, because we're doing curios, torches can be used to affect curios to not take the negative stuff. So I think I'm going to put an extra torch in here. I think it's a good choice.
That's a good choice.
Yeah. I'm going to throw another potion in because it's stress removal or blight removal.
Yeah.
So it double dips on that one.
Yeah. Now, one of the important things to do is going to be to give everybody a little bit of a rundown on our character boards. So each character has one of these character boards. And if I lift this up just a little. So first things first, you have, I believe it's called your
Dodge.
evasion. Your dodge, yeah?
Yep.
So this is how good you are about getting out of the way whenever something is trying to slap you in the head with a club. You've then got your health. So my Hellion has 14, which is pretty beefy. And we then have our movement. So I can move 2 spaces on the actual board. I've got a resistance to the bleed effect. And then down the bottom, I've got a town power, but we'll cover that a little bit later. Up and across here, I have my stress tracker. So basically, how stressed out am I about being down in a dungeon? Now, Leo, if that goes up to maximum, what is the negative effect of that?
So once you reach 10, you will get either an affliction or a virtue. So you will have to roll a dice. So that means when you're super stressed, sometimes you can be very brave and have a virtue, but most of the time you will get an affliction. On a roll of 1 or 2, you get a virtue. On a roll of 3 to 10, you get an affliction. And then you start again at 0, and if you reach again 10, when you have an affliction or a virtue, if you reach 10 stress, you die from a heart attack.
I see. I'm going to try and avoid that. All right. Also on our sheet here, we have a little thing on the left-hand side. Is that our inventory? Or is that for trinkets?
That's for trinket.
So trinkets are
trinkets.
basically items which can give you a bonus. On the right-hand side, we've got some diseases, and we've got our virtue section down the bottom here, which can be the positive or the negative. And then in the middle here, we've got our abilities. So to start out, we each get 3 abilities chosen from our character's deck. Because we're level 1, we are choosing level 1 abilities. So on the Hellion, you can see I've got Wicked Hack here. And the way this breaks down is, the first thing you see is your crit. So if you can roll that on your dice, so in this case, if I roll a 1 on the dice, I will do 12 damage. If I roll a 9 or less, I will do 7 damage. On the top of this, you can see there are 4 slots here to tell me which position I need to be in order to actually use this ability. So either in the aggressive stance, the defensive stance. I can't do it if I'm in the ranged or the support section. So it's something to think about whenever you're building your characters. Make sure you're able to do things in the different positions of the board, because as we play, our characters will move around this section here to be in different battle positions, which can be very important. You might find yourself in a position where you can do nothing except try and put yourself into a position for the next round. I think I've got that.
It's a lot of positionings.
Yes, yes. And sometimes skeletons might be, a little bit of a jerk and just drag you out of position.
Yeah.
Speaking
not
about
just
skeletons, you are supposed to draw a boss card that will influence your quest for the first 3 quests. Which boss did you have?
So we got the Necromancer, who's a delightful fellow and has a few interesting things. First off, when we get to the Hamlet phase, the graveyard is blocked from us because he's probably there all day and all night digging up friends. After battles, remove non-unholy monsters from the monster deck, and this persists between the dungeons until the Necromancer is defeated. And he also has a special rule: when a miniature is summoned, the monster mini is placed on the target space, and the card is placed on the topmost stance. A new monster initiative card.
We're not going
is
to use
shuffled.
this one
So-
because this is when we actually fight
Oh, so that's when we
the
hit
boss. And this
boss
is the
phase.
first quest, so he won't be there.
Good. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
Necromancers being far, far away from me is ideal.
Although it is a nice narrative piece where if you're fighting him, he is continuously raising up more of the undead. But as you're fighting down into it, you are taking out all of the non-undead that he can't re-raise.
That's well, actually, we're just creating more people for him.
Yeah, technically.
What we should really be doing is just clubbing them over the head and dragging them out. Killing people is just, it's going to come back to bite us.
Well, now you've got to enter this dungeon and enter the first corridor, which is the dotted line that you can see on the dungeon layout. So when you enter a corridor, you have to explore. So exploration is played by rolling 2 exploration dice for each hero and applying what will tell what you will get. And you can have, usually exploration hazards can be countered by using some provision dice. So you will have to make a choice whether you want to suffer the penalties or you want to spend one of the group's provision dice.
Okay, well, shall we roll them?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll roll for the Hellion. I got 2 spider's webs. I'm guessing that's 2 traps.
2 traps, you'd be correct.
That's 2 traps, yes.
What's the bounty hunter
That's
get?
really bad.
Yeah, it's not a great start.
Yeah.
Bounty Hunter gets a blank, which is excellent news. Nothing happens there. And then he also gets it's damage, I believe. It's the little skull icon on the...
Oh, it's
That's
rubble.
a rubble.
Oh, it's rubble. Ah, that's right,
So
yes.
you could use our 1 spade to
Could
get
use
rid
a
of that.
spade.
All right, for the Highwayman, I get 2 stress. So whenever you get stress, it's just mark it up. So 1, 2 stress.
And then finally, I get hunger for the Vestal and a blank for the Vestal.
Lucky you, Gerry.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not too bad. This one is good. So you have to do that, to resolve that in the order of your stance. So it'll be
So
Hellion first.
Hellion first with 2 traps. So how do I deal with 2 traps?
Okay, so 2 traps is the worst, probably the worst result you could have. So what does it mean? That means there's an old protective mechanism that is set off by your tripping. So you have to spend a tool provision, or you will have to roll an attack and suffer the damage.
Oof.
And yes, so what is it's a crit of 2. If you roll 1 or 2, you will suffer 8 damage. If you roll 8 or less, it will be 2 damage. So do you have tools?
We have 1 tool. Now, I also have to balance this against the fact that I know Gerry will have to deal with rubble.
Yeah, but rubble's not too
Yes,
bad.
but rubble is way easier
Yeah,
to deal
rubble.
with. It's not as dangerous.
All that is after you've exploded the room,
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
just what drops on my head after you've taken the full force of the blast.
I see. All right, if it's all right with you, Gerry, I will use 1 tool to get rid of 1 trap,
Sure.
and then I have to roll for damage.
So do you
on the
have
other one.
dodge? Do you have a dodge? What is
I have
your
a dodge of 1.
So it's not going to be 8, it's going to be 7. You know,
Okay.
so
7 or
1 or
less.
2 is a crit, 3 to 7 is a normal hit for this.
All right. And it's a D10 system for your attacks using 1d10, and it's a roll low is good, except in this situation where the enemy's attacking me, where I want to get 7, 8, 9, or 10. So, 7.
It's a hit. Hooray!
Damn it.
That's a hit.
But it's only 2 damage.
Only 2 damage. That's okay.
All right, so I will mark that on my character sheet. Now, is it the round ones
it's
or the square
round
ones?
The square ones are blade tokens.
Ah, I see. So there is 2 damage on my Hellion to start things off. Not horrible, but we'll take care of it.
Yeah. My bounty hunter will have to accept the 2 damage because you've used our only tool in smashing every trap you could find in that corridor.
I am a little bit of a tool for doing that.
But I'll live with that.
Yeah.
Your highwayman?
He takes his 2 stress. So
because that means you take care of the rubble with your own little hands. So this is why you're damaged.
Oh, look at that. The bounty hunter has soft, delicate little hands.
You know, some of us do proper work.
Why do I get the feeling the bounty hunter walked out of the house this morning and just went, I'll be a bounty hunter. Go on, Leo.
Okay. So sorry, the bounty hunter, did he have a rubble or a trap?
Rubble.
Rubble. So it's only one damage.
Oh, it's only one. Oh, better again. Oh,
Okay.
happy days.
Yeah, not as bad.
And last but by no means least, my Vestal is going to have some soup. So our provisions go away.
You forgot to eat before we left.
I didn't forget. It's just watching my friends explode themselves and somebody else having to dig their carcass out of the destroyed tunnel just, brings on stress eating for me. Had to have chocolate.
Okay, so we are through the exploration. So I'm assuming we now flip the first one of these.
So what did you do with the stressful darkness?
Stressful darkness?
It's your stress.
Oh, I just had to take the stress. I decided just to take the stress and save the torches.
The choice you had was you suffer 2 stress, or the light goes down by 1, or you spend 1 torch.
I'll just take 2 stress.
That's per stressful darkness.
Oh, damn. All right. I'll take 2 stress, and then I'll maybe let the light go down by 1.
Okey-dokey, that increases everybody's crit, so that's good fun.
Yeah. Well, it means everybody's
so
kicking out more damage.
Everybody, monsters and heroes, get +1 crit because the light has gone down, and so it's easier to hit your enemy.
Good news.
Yeah.
The first room we find, though, is a curio room.
So that's good.
So in this case,
That's good. So
we automatically will be fighting.
Yes. Normally, when there's a curio room, there's a curio lying in the center of the room, and you don't have to fight always. But in this particular quest, it tells that curio room means automatic battle. So you will have to draw a room card and see what you get.
We got a treasure chamber, which I'm currently trying to find. I think I found it. That's us. So
now we lay
You have to put the little coffins, the treasures, if there are any on this map.
There are. We have one.
Yep. Just the one.
Just the one.
Then you have to read on the room card the special rules for this room.
So if we loot the chest, you can spend 2 actions to draw a trinket once per encounter.
Oh.
And
Nice.
that's in A. In B, hide and heal. When no monsters are here, spend 1 action and suffer 2 stress to heal up to maximum. And that's in this little alcove with what appears to be some sort of healing waters. I would not be drinking stagnant water in a dungeon. I'm just saying. I'm speaking as a Vestal here. I'm only looking out for you.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like, if you're very, very desperate to heal up, because anytime I have played this so far, I have kind of been beaten down and whipped.
You're a tempting target.
Now you can place your heroes on the map depending on your stance.
Okay. So the Hellion is in the aggressive stance, so she goes over there.
Oh, that's beautiful. My bounty hunter and my Vestal are both in the same room.
Yep, and my highwayman is in the same room with my Hellion, which is great.
So if we very
convenient.
Yeah. Before we
and now you're gonna have to draw monster cards.
So I will handle
one at
that.
a time.
So
one at a time.
Our first monster card is a cultist acolyte.
Okie dokie.
He will go into the aggressive position.
No, he won't.
No.
He goes to the back.
On the card, it's going to write front or back.
I see. Okay. Then we get another cultist acolyte. So I assume they just move forward 1 slot?
Yeah, they fill in as close to the area as they can.
Okay. We have a bone
From the
rabble.
back, right? From the back.
Yeah. Bone rabble to the front.
And then we have a cultist brawler.
Oh, that's all horrible.
Indeed, indeed.
I hate you so much for those
Lots of
drawers.
cultists.
Yeah.
Okay, so cultist brawler. If you like, start laying these guys out on the table where they're meant to go.
So he drops into, oh, he's into a room full of treasure.
Yeah, we have 2 acolytes there.
Okay, so our dungeon, our first room in our dungeon is populated. We're all ready to go. And it's just...
So you have to shuffle the initiative cards.
Yep.
So that's this tiny little deck here. So it's got 8 cards in the deck, which are going to tell us, does a hero go or does a monster go? So 1, 2, 3. Okay. So, Gerry, you were saying before we kicked off there was something you wanted?
Yeah, just to very briefly explain the dots on the areas within the room. So every region within a room will have a number of dots from presumably 1 to 4. I haven't seen any ones yet. These are the maximum number that you can have within an area, but you can still pass through an area. So even though an area may be filled, if this cultist room with 2, you could move through it. You just can't finish in it.
That, and I think there is some conditions where if a larger miniature, there's some larger miniatures that come in the game, if they try and force their way into that room, they will push out smaller miniatures.
Yeah.
I think we've got that, Leo.
Well, a large monster will take 2 spots, right?
Yeah, and so,
So
they
that
would...
means, and once an area is full, you can still go through it, but you can't stop on it.
Okay, so time to figure out who's going first then.
Yes.
Right. Oh, one thing we almost forgot to say is we only have 4 rounds of combat in which we can actually fight this room. Otherwise, we're going to get pushed back out the door.
No hanging around. It's also 4 rounds in the room as a whole, so you can't beat the monsters and then spend time looting and healing up before you go to the next room.
No.
Once they're all defeated, we're done here. We move on. So if we haven't looted the treasure chests, if we haven't healed up, then
It's lost.
unlucky. There's a certain amount of stress involved beyond the stress that your character cards have.
Well, let's dive in and see who's going first. Is it a hero or a monster? It's going to be a hero to kick off first. So
Okey-dokey.
that I will pop onto the Hellion. So because the Hellion is in the aggressive slot, they go first, then it goes to defensive, then ranged, then support. So what will be good for my Hellion to do to start? Now, if I remember right, during a turn,
Yes.
I get 2 actions. That can be move and move, attack. If I fail with an ability, I can use the same ability again. If I succeed, I can use another ability, but it has to be a different one. Have I got that right, Leo?
Yep.
That's right.
Okay. So what would be fun to kick things off? I think I'm going to move and attack. So from where I am, I will move 1 space into here. And then I'm going to go for a Wicked Hack, which has a range of 0, single target. Crit normally is a 1. Because the light's down a little bit, it's crit 2. And then a regular accuracy of 9 or less, which could do 7 damage, which I think is not completely
Does the
killing it.
cultists have dodge?
Does the cultist have a dodge, Gerry? Dodge 1. So,
So
dodge 1 means
your
it's
accuracy
an 8.
is reduced by 1.
Okay. So I'm looking for an 8 or less. And, oh, you're kidding me. I got a 9.
Well done.
Swing and a miss.
He dodged.
Yeah.
Something,
Dodged.
something, Hellion, not as good as a bounty hunter, something, something. Don't know, fill in the blanks.
Yeah. All right. Let's draw our next initiative then, because I've moved for 1 action, attacked for the 2nd. Next is a monster. So the first monster to go
Be the bone.
is the Bone Rabble.
So, because he can perform any of action 1 when he's in the first 3 stance slots, he'll be going for the old bump in the night, which is an attack on the closest, but it's only a range 0, so it has to be in the same area. So in this case, the closest will either be my Vestal or my Bounty Hunter, so he's going to move into this area anyway.
Yeah, there is space to do it.
And then in the case of a tie, you go via the priority order. So the Bounty Hunters are next priority stance. So it's going to be attacking me. This is terrible.
And generally, what I like to do is let whoever is being attacked roll their own fate.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Do you have a dodge?
I have a dodge of 1, so he's only going to hit me on a 6 or less. Although he does now have a crit, which isn't great. Somebody let our torch burn out. I'm not saying it was anybody's fault, but he'll hit, and he'll hit for 4.
Oof.
That's all right. In fact,
Yeah,
I'll
just grab a
take
5.
and lose that one.
And is he completely done so now?
That's him, yeah. Moved in and smacked
Does
my
he have
back
any
at it.
special or second
Not,
side effects?
not on his,
his
bump,
attack?
not on the bump in the night. If he'd been
That's good.
tiptoeing or tie-toeing, I'd be pushed around.
All right, next up, it's another monster. So now our cultist berserker is going to get to do some stuff.
And again, he's going to be acting off 1. So, rend for the old gods. I'm always a fan of rending for the old gods.
Who's his priority target? Is it like
It's closest.
most wounded? Closest. Okay.
Closest in this case, and he has a range of 1. So in that case, the Hellion is going to be closest.
Yes, because the Hellion had moved forward. So he would move forward 1.
Well, actually, no. Yeah, there are many choices. So here's an interesting question then, Leo. We've got 2 sets of heroes equidistant. The Hellion is furthest up the priority track, but they've already activated. Do they still go towards just the top of the tracker?
Yes, he does.
So,
this
yeah.
is why it's risky to be on the first position.
Okay, so he'll move in.
He'll move to there and then attack.
What is his attack?
He's an accuracy of 8, less your dodge.
So 7.
And he does have a crit now. And he has an absolute ton of special abilities if he hits with this. So this will be fun. Be lucky.
For a 5.
5, well, that'll be a hit for a start.
Yeah.
So you're going to take 3 damage.
Okay, so that'll put me on 5 toto.
You're going to take a bleed 1 for 3 turns. So take 3 of those 1 cubes
3,
and make them into 1 little stack.
3. Okay, I'll just pop that to the front.
Then also have 2 of these debuff in a stack.
Okay.
And you get +1 stress.
Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely.
He also pulls 1.
Pulls 1.
So does that mean he'll pull himself into the Hellion's room then?
Does it not mean
Yes,
it changes?
he will pull himself toward the target.
And then he also moves on the target track as well.
Oh, wait. Is pull on his left hand?
Yeah, it's pull self.
Okay, so yes, he will pull himself.
Okay. Does he move on the monster priority track as well? So he'll move
Yes,
into
he
the
does.
aggressive
Yes, he does.
Okay.
and push that poor bone rabble into a lower priority. He's delightful. I'm so glad he's over there with you.
Yeah. Now, I just want to check. Yes, there is space for him to move into the room.
Don't worry, there's space.
Okay. Next in the initiative queue is another monster.
Excellent. Get them all out of the way early. So this is this
acolyte,
cultist acolyte way over here.
The acolyte far away. Okay.
She is shooting. Let me just see. So we roll for her ability
Okay.
because she's in the shooting position. So go ahead and roll.
For a 4.
Got a 4, which means, hang on, I'm going to have to lift that up because I can't read that from that distance.
No worries.
Upside down. So, stressful incantation is where she'll be aiming towards. The most stressed is her target.
I know who that is.
Currently, the highwayman has 2 stress.
Oh, really?
Yep.
And it's a range of 1. So she can move up to 3, mind you.
Oh, wow.
So 1, 2. Can't get into the room with you, which leaves her 2 away. So she can't get in there to do that one. That's terrible.
Yeah, that's awful.
There's too many bodies in the way. You dodge that one.
Okay, so our next initiative then is our final monster, who is in range but she's in the support. So
She's
what
in the
is
support.
she going to do?
So again, it's another dice roll to see what she does.
Okay. Oh, for a 9.
9 is the last ability she has there, the Eldritch.
Uh-huh.
So
it's a range of 1.
it's the closest, which is your Hellion, because,
Yeah.
well, actually your Hellion's in the same zone as you, so...
Yeah, it would be my Highwayman.
Well, if she's targeting the Hellion, would she back up one so she's in range, because it's a range 1?
Yes, she would.
Okay.
Yes,
so,
she would.
So she'll just move back.
And if she has several rooms where she can move,
Yep.
you guys choose which one she goes to.
Yeah. Okay, so she moves to there and will attack Hellion. So base accuracy of 9 goes to 8, and the crit is on 2. This could be painful. A 3.
Oh,
Almost.
she's targeting the... Okay.
The Hellion.
Does the Hellion have any debuff?
Hellion does have debuff, has 2 debuff. Well, 2 turns of debuff.
So 2 turns of debuff. So she has a crit of 1, a +1, a crit modifier.
So that was a crit.
So crit 3 then. That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of okay because it's only 2 wounds. But it does have some additional stuffs.
It pushes you 2.
Yeah. So, which way do I get pushed? I assume I would just get bumped back into the corner.
You choose where to be pushed.
Yeah.
Okay, I would push myself 1, 2, this way?
Into the room full of treasure.
Yeah, into the room full of treasure.
But you also...
And you also...
Bump down to the ranged
You're down to
slot.
shooting now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ouch.
I'm not saying you've ruined this for the rest of us, but we were all in our positions, waiting for the cue from the Hellion who's leading this party to tell us to spring into action, and you fumbled it, mate.
Yeah, kind of failed to murder the first one, and that's just went sideways.
Yeah. So who's next? Is it a hero?
It's a hero.
That'll be me then.
That'll be your bounty hunter.
Finally.
Yeah.
Who is now in the aggressive position.
That's all right. I can still do stuff when I'm aggressive. I am by nature an aggressive man. So I could mark it for death, which would be interesting.
Well, that would be good for my Highwayman, because he would get +2 wounds versus anyone that's marked.
Yeah, I do plan on not leaving the person alive.
Oh, right.
And this is way over here in this corner with my 2 characters, and not way over here with all the monsters and your Highwayman by himself.
Yeah.
That's not going to help you.
Yeah,
there's no help here.
It was an unfortunate situation.
Yeah, well, these things are sent to try us. I'm just going to put those down there so I can actually see their stats.
Yeah, no worries.
And our survey says Bone Rubble's only got 6 health. And it's immune to bleed. To be fair, if I collect bounty, if I hit him, that's 6 right there.
Yeah.
So I won't even bother with mark for death. I'll just try and hit him in the head. I've got two tries at this anyway.
Well, yeah, because if you fail at the first one, you can go again, and if you succeed, you can use a different one.
Yeah, or just, leave. So, accuracy of 9, 6. That'll be a hit, and that will be a hit for 6. Don't get any bonus because he's not marked, and don't get a versus human bonus. But
doesn't have any dodge, does he?
No.
Oh, he's just dead?
He's just dead. He only had 6. So he comes off that tracker.
Yeah, it's well seen who the real leader of this party should have been.
Everybody shuffles up the tracker, and do we...
We knock out his initiative card for the next round because he's dead, and because they've already went, it's gone now. So next up is another hero.
Oh, I'm not finished. That was
you're
only
not
my
finished?
first action.
Oh, apologies.
Calm down.
Apologies.
I've got so many places to explore in here. If I move into this room alongside you, because I'm a nice person, then that means next turn I can rob it blind. So that's good. I'm just saying I could be like Indiana Jones. You'd always loot the place.
Are you done?
I'm done now, yeah.
All right, so hero, so it's now the Highwayman, who is unfortunately staring at all 3 monsters in front of him. So let's have a look and see what my options are. Honestly, I think I'm just going to go for a pistol shot, and I'm going to aim for the Berserker. So it's got a crit of 1, accuracy of 9. What's his evade? Does he have an evade? He does not. So it's 9 or less, and critting on 2 because of the light.
Exactly.
For a 9.
You hit.
So that will do him a grand total of 7 damage. What is his total health?
The brawler, he has but 11 health.
Oof.
See, you're almost there.
Yeah.
Does he have armor?
He has armor dash, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Armor dash. So no armor. This is fine.
No armor. If it's a little arrow to the top, that means you divide by 2 leveled up.
Yep.
And if it's an arrow to the bottom, it's divided by 2 rounded down.
Yeah. Now, that was only my first action, so I can use another.
Yes.
That was my pistol shot. My Wicked Slice is unfortunately range 0. However, I can hit him with a Grape Shot, which is range 0 to 1. And that will possibly do another 3 or 5 damage. So it will crit on 1 with the light and an 8 base accuracy. For a 2. So that's 3 more damage on him. So he's got 1 health left.
Yeah. In fact, I'll just...
So close to crit.
So close to crit. It could have murdered in 1 shot, but I'm kind of okay with that. So that's me done. Final hero is our support character.
Vestal.
Yes.
I'm amazing.
You can heal me.
I want you to tell me how amazing I am.
You are the most magnificent and incredible creature ever to walk down into a dungeon. I will convert to whatever religion you are, reading from in that gorgeous little book.
Sounds a bit sarcastic there, Leo, doesn't it? I don't know if I fancy healing the Hellion, but because I am...
I will trust the awesomeness.
A pure being of righteousness and goodness, I will use my divine grace on you. So an accuracy of 12, so
Nice.
I really have to go out of my way to miss this.
Yeah.
And I crit on a 4. And if I crit, I'll heal you for 5. Otherwise, it's 3.
Okay.
So our survey says 1, a crit, have 5 health.
Nice.
Thank you.
See, for my God is.
So now you
a
have to
beneficent
convert.
God. You do, yeah. I'll tell you all about it later on. There's a lot of flagellation involved in my holy order.
Okay. So that is round 1.
That's round 1, yeah.
So this will move forward.
I think we're doing well so far. Collect up the initiative cards.
Yep, collect all the initiative cards. This monster card stays away because there are now only 3 monsters, which is great for us.
The monster that was defeated, was it the rubble skeleton?
The bone rubble, yeah.
Yeah.
The bone rubble, sorry.
Yeah.
So, he will remain in the monster deck.
Oh, so he'll go to the bottom of the monster deck?
Right, just shuffle
Yes,
him
the
back.
bottom.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's an unholy character, so he remains.
So there's the potential to find another one.
Like all the acolytes will be taken away. You won't have them. You won't meet them anymore.
Yes, because they're human.
Because they're human. Yeah.
And so there's no real cleanup to do in this game. It's just move on to our next round of combat, yeah?
Well, you have stacks of buffs and
Yes.
debuffs, so this needs to be resolved.
So I will lose 1 from my debuff.
Yep. And you
And
lose
then-
1 for bleed, and you also resolve that now, so you take another point of bleed damage.
I see, so I take a point of
Yeah,
damage.
a wound. Yes,
Yeah.
a wound.
Okay. 3 wounds on the Hellion. That's okay.
Yeah, and that's an interesting thing. 'cause we
Oh,
haven't-
wait. The Hellion is bleeding, right? But
Yes.
the Hellion has a
Resist bleed,
resistance.
yes.
So that means you didn't take it for 3 turns, but only 2 turns.
Oh.
So you have
Okay.
to remove another
So
one.
I'll remove another one, and I've got 1 more to take. That's
That's it.
Yeah.
excellent.
That also on the point of the stacks, because when people see stacks of the same thing in a game, they'll combine them into giant stacks. You don't do this. So if you've got a bleed now for 2 turns, and then you get another bleed, you make a separate stack, and at the end of a turn,
They both trigger?
they both trigger, and then
Gotcha.
you resolve everything. So
Gotcha.
you can have a lot of damage over time, stacks,
Yeah.
all ticking at different rates.
Yeah,
if you're
just make sure to
particularly
keep them separate
unlucky, do not combine the stacks into a giant stack.
Okay, I gotcha.
And if you consume, and it doesn't take any action, but if you consume a bandage provision, you get rid of all of your bleed stacks.
Okay.
We're just going to let you bleed.
Or
Oh yeah,
you could
I'll let
also
myself.
consume a bleed bandage provision dice to gain 1 life back to heal a wound.
Understood.
Same with food. Food will give you 1 hit point more, right?
Okay.
So round 2, and our order's all been disrupted.
Okay, initiative. So who's going first? A monster will go first.
Oh, there's a...
Yep, so that
delightful
means
thing.
that Berserker, who's almost dead, gets to take a swing at somebody.
Okie dokie. He is in his aggressive stance,
Uh-huh.
which means he will be going for more rending of the old gods. It is range 1. He's at range 1. It is the closest he will attack.
Yep, so that's my highwayman.
Yep. So, accuracy of 8, less your dodge,
So he's hitting on a 7.
and he will now have a crit.
Oh, let's see what we get. For an 8, he misses.
He misses. Oh, that's terrible.
He's feeling it from last round after taking every gunshot I could throw at him.
That's unfortunate. Can't have everything, I suppose.
Yep. Our next is a hero, so that's our
Bounty hunter.
Gets to go.
So,
What would the bounty hunter like to do? Do you want to loot?
I really do want to loot, which would allow me to draw a trinket. It feels like maybe possibly a waste in round 2 when 3 of the monsters are still alive, because it is my entire go to do it.
Right.
As much as I want to, I think I'm going to be selfless, and I want this noted in the book, how selfless I was as a bounty hunter. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to attempt to mark for death one of the cultists.
Okay.
The cultist acolyte, and then potentially follow her up with something. Can I? Ooh. I have a question before I do anything.
Yes.
How bad is your Hellion sitting in the shooting?
Sitting in the shooting? Not awful. I've got my If It Bleeds ability, which is a range 1.
All right, so there is still things you can do. I'm just thinking possibly if I start moving down. But no, I won't. I will.
Well, I mean, like my plan, if you move down, that would be worse for me because you would be pushing my highwayman up.
Yeah, but that's...
So my plan is when my highwayman activates, he'll take a shot, and if he succeeds, move down to bring the Hellion up into defensive, which will go allow it wicked hack, and if it bleeds.
Well, I'm going to mark for death.
Okay.
I'll mark for death the next acolyte. So this one who hasn't got a little black token on her.
Yeah.
Our survey says
For a
6, so I will hit her. So she gets marked 3, which are hiding over there.
These. So we'll pop those down to there.
Get 3 there, awesome. She also gets 1 turn of debuff.
Ah, that's good.
I'll pop them up here so I can still see her stats. And I get a buff myself
Very nice.
for 2 turns. So I've done that. That's great. Obviously, I'm fantastic. Well done, me. I think I'm going to nip into this room with the treasure chest.
Ah. For your second action. Okay.
Yeah, and it also puts me at range, so I can use things like come hither and start pulling them towards us if we need to.
I see.
If they don't sort that out for themselves.
Right. So next up, we have a monster. So it's that cultist acolyte who has been debuffed to hell.
So she has been marked for death. She will roll
A 2.
a 2, so she's going to go for stressful incantation. The most stressed,
That's 2 on the highwayman.
still the highwayman, good,
Yep.
and she's in range of the highwayman as well. So just go ahead, accuracy 9, less your dodge.
So she's looking for an 8.
She gets a 1, she gets a crit, so 2 points of damage. Plus, and you'll like this, stress. So your stress goes up by 1. Stress also goes up by 1 just because it's a crit as well, isn't that right? Every crit is a stress. And our torch goes out by 1. So we're still in the +1.
And every crit for the heroes is
Removes the
-1.
stress. Yeah, I would have removed 1 stress for me, but I wasn't stressed when I critted.
Yeah.
I was very calm, very zen.
Yeah. As he always is in a dungeon.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good time. It's a good time to be me. Less good time to be a highwayman or a Hellion, I see.
Yeah.
That's them.
All right. So next up, we have our hero, which is our highwayman. So from where he is just going to use, because he's in the defensive slot, he will use a pistol shot. So base accuracy of 9
Yes.
onto the Berserker, has no dodge, no armor, so it stays at a 9, and he's on a crit of 2. So for a 9 on the nose, so it does damage. It does 5 damage to kill him.
You just need 1. Yep.
So murder, murder, murder. I'm happy with that. And then for my second action, I'm going to be quite selfless and move down the track by 1, and that'll put the Hellion up into defensive position, which I think is good tactical sense. So next up, we have another hero. So that means the Hellion gets to go.
Will be your Hellion. Yep.
Yep. Now I just have to decide what's the best thing to hit
remove
stuff
the dead
with.
fellow. Well, she's currently marked. You don't have anybody who can.
Oh, I do. Well, if I hadn't moved down the track, I could have hit for 7 damage on her.
Oh, what a shame you didn't. That would have almost killed her.
But what I am going to do is with my Hellion. What do I want to do? What's the best thing to do? I think Hellion is going to move into that space from where she is. Now, oh wait, it's a 2 slot, so I can't actually move in there. If that's the case, I will just use if it bleeds.
We can kill it.
So crit of 1 currently with the light, and a base accuracy of 9. Do you have any dodge on those?
Debuffed, so crit of 2.
Okay, crit on 2, but I am hitting on an 8 because they do have some dodge.
Yep.
For a 5, so that will hit, and that will be a nice flat 5 damage onto that one that's debuffed. They will also take bleed for 2 turns.
Oh, bleed 1, bleed 2. Bleed 1.
Bleed 2 for 2
I
turns.
see.
Ah, that makes sense now.
Nice.
She may not be with us much longer. Losing a lot of blood.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
And then our next. Well, actually, I still have an action. Is there anything I could do that would be useful?
That's the room of heal me up all the way to the max if you're still suffering.
Not really suffering.
No.
I think heal versus stress. I will probably wait till we're down to like the next round before I do that.
Okay.
Of course, I could just move in there now so that I'm already there, which is possibly a good idea. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, next up is our next hero. So that's your
Vestal.
Vestal. Yeah.
I will move in for 1, and then I will.
You gonna smack somebody?
Somebody's about to get smacking. I don't know if they're about to get bashed with a mace or judged. I can be very judgmental.
Yeah, I've kind of noticed, Jerry.
Let me see. Mace bash seems good enough. I get +1 versus unholy. Are they unholy? They look unholy. Doesn't say that they definitely are though, so I'm assuming they're not.
I assume it's the undead that are unholy.
Oh well, in that case we'll just club them with my mace. So the one who's already bleeding out and on her way out, I think I'm going to leave her, because even if... Oh no, yeah, I could plug her. That would kill her for dead. No, definitely, yeah. I'll hit the fresh one.
Okay.
Start sticking some jabs in. Accuracy of 9, ordinarily. They have a dodge of 1, so 8s or less. Critting on 1. 1, a crit.
Lovely,
I'm
lovely.
super crit and still virgin.
Awesome.
They will take... They'll take 9 damage. That will just kill that outright.
Murdered. Awesome.
So how awesome is my Vestal? I think we can all see how awesome my Vestal is.
Yeah.
She is the awesomest.
Religion is good. All right, and because of that...
I would lose some stress if I had any, but you know.
Yeah, you're cool as a cucumber.
Yeah.
But that also means that the final monster card here does not activate because you just killed
one I've
what
just
was
killed.
about to activate.
Yep.
Nicely done. Okay, so end of the round. I will bleed for 1. I will lose my last debuff. Like so.
And then likewise, this remaining cultist acolyte will lose the debuff,
And take 2 damage.
lose mark for death, and lose a bleed for 2, which leaves them only with 2 there.
Yes.
Just suggesting if we want to do any looting, we do it now. Don't try not to kill the acolyte. Don't kill it too quickly. Leave it alive.
Well, it dies at the end of this round anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We do all our looting now. So if somebody takes a hit, then they take a hit. They knew the risks.
Well, there's that chest there, and there's the big room where your Vestal is. So let's see who goes first. Surprise, surprise, it's a hero. So you're bounty hunter. You can either loot the chest.
Yes.
Well, actually, you'll have to loot the chest because you can't spend 2 in the main room.
Exactly. So I'll loot the chest. Oh, and it's a provisions dice. I'm sure with these.
Very nice. Do we roll that now, Leo?
Yep. Oh, it's a
Well,
wild card.
if you have like the arrow just pointing on what specific side, you can choose this side. If not, you roll it and you add it to the common pool.
So I rolled the Darkest Dungeon wild card. So what do we want?
Food.
Food?
I would recommend food.
I would recommend a tool, and since it's my provisions, I'm picking a tool.
Okay. So I'll pop that in with our provisions at the top of the board here where we're keeping them all.
Excelente.
Food can also heal 1 hit point, as you know.
Yeah.
So that's always good.
Okay.
Yep.
Are you done?
That's me done.
Okay, next is Hero, so the Hellion. Hellion is in the room where I can take stress and completely heal.
Yep.
I will do this. 1, 2, 3, 4 points of damage is going away, and I will be on stress 2.
That takes 1 action, so you still have another action if you want to move. Or attack. That's.
I am now in the defensive location.
And she is 2 away.
You can move back to the aggressive position if you want it.
Yeah, I'll move up to the aggressive position because that'll unlock all of my abilities for next round.
It really shows you don't want to be hit by things that push and pull you, because moving out of position can really interrupt your style of play.
Well, it's the one thing I did whenever I was selecting abilities was I tried to make sure I could do something in almost every position. So you've always got something you can do. So next up, it is the monster.
Oh no!
So before it dies, it gets to do something.
It is aggressive, so our
we roll?
survey says.
Oh, he's gonna roll.
I'll roll it for once.
A 1.
1, so 1 to 5 is stressful incantation. Oh no! Highwayman.
Yes.
Oh, I say that actually. What's the? Oh, the Highwayman is on more stress than the Hellion.
Yeah, the Highwayman's on like 4.
Yeah. So it'll accuracy 9. And
so that'll become 8.
Yep.
For a 1, it crits.
A crit. Excellent news.
So I take a stress for the crit.
You take 2 damage.
An additional 2 damage.
And you also take another bonus stress, and our torch goes out by another 1. Oh man, I don't want to do that because that gives us all of a stress. Can we burn a torch now to prevent that, Leo, or do we have to take that?
I think it's during our turn we're allowed to use them.
You can only use a provision during your turn.
Okay.
So we're all going to take a stress.
It doesn't take any action. It's a free action, but you can only perform it during the turn of your hero.
Yeah. So take your first stress, Gerry.
So our light has now gone from 3 to 2. So we'd get +1 stress. Is that whenever we activate, or do we all take 1 now?
Oh, okay. No, that means when you get stress now, instead of getting 1 stress, you will receive a
two.
+1 stress.
Okay. So
that's
I can put these back by 1.
Oh, in that case, I don't even need to worry about this because I'm never getting stressed.
Okay. So next activation is hero. So it's the Highwayman. Now, I have the option with the Highwayman to kill that, but if I do that, we can't loot the room. So I think the Highwayman is just going to stand there and exchange harsh language and allow your Vestal to go, which allows you to loot for the trinket.
Okie dokie. I shall do this thing. So these are normally found in the Hamlet by visiting a travelling woman.
Yes, there's a wagon.
In this case, when I loot, I get a speed stone.
Oh.
Which gives +1 move or +1. Not sure what that icon is.
Let me see. So the thing with these is it's +1 speed or +1 to your dodge ability.
Oh right, yes, that would make sense.
The balance with these is, so if you look, you'll see these are double-sided, right? You've got the good stuff, but after you use it, you have to flip it around, and you take the bad stuff if you want to recharge it.
Yeah, that's all right. That's good.
So there you go. I'm guessing that's just going on your Vassal.
My Vestal is keeping that, yeah.
Okay. And so end of turn, that bleeds out.
End of turn, the acolyte bleeds. And we have completed this little room
Yes.
because it's now cleared, so we would get 1 XP each. And
Well, you have 1 XP for the group, and
Oh, it's
this
1
the
XP for the
XP
group?
will
Okay.
will be given to everybody at the end. So you store 1 XP somewhere,
okay,
and because you've cleared the room, someone's going to draw a curio card. But before you have to choose which character is going to have this curio, and you have also to choose whether you want to spend a torch to prevent the negative effect of the curio, or if you want to save your torches for later.
well, we brought the torches because we knew we would have 3 curio rooms.
Yes.
So I suggest we burn one now.
Yep. And seeing as your Vestal is technically the one who won the room, I would recommend the Vestal gets the curio.
Oh, monsieur, with these Rocher, you're really spoiling us. I'm just going to shuffle these because I don't know if you've stacked them in some terrible order, but I'll get murdered to death drawing this curio card.
As if I would do that to you, Gerry. I know I'm cruel, but I'm not that cruel.
What's my curio? My curio is a strong box.
Okay.
A long-forgotten strong box sits in the cold stone floor. You praise your luck as you open it with the serrated scalpel, but it slashes your right hand. Without losing your courage, you discover some coins and a valuable trinket. Get 5 gold.
Okay, so 5 gold. Yummy, yummy.
3, 4, 5 goes into our pool. There would normally be a bleed for 3 turns, but that's ignored because we burnt a torch.
Yep.
Also, there's a quirk card is also, well, it's a positive
Is
card.
it red or yellow?
It's yellow, it's a positive one. So,
You get a positive quirk.
and I get another trinket from the delightful lady. So
You can only have 1 trinket, but you can give it to
you can give it
someone.
to somebody else. Well, this one might be better for the Vestal than the last one.
Yeah.
It's a Sage's Book. +2 accuracy when in support. Oh, do I need +2 accuracy? My accuracy is fairly amazing already.
Yeah.
I
But
do
you're the
like
one
my
who's
book.
generally in support, so you may as well have that.
Well, maybe we'll find somebody who's particularly dodgy at some point, which means we have a speedstone trinket for somebody else.
Yep.
I don't know, bounty hunter, Hellion. Everybody's quite nippy as it is.
Yeah. Can I request it for the highwayman, because he seems to get targeted a lot more, so he could use the dodge?
Well, we'll see. And my my quirk is I'm a skilled gambler. So roll a d10, and on a 1, I get -1 stress.
Oh, lovely. So when do those quirks actually trigger,
Nice.
Leo?
So when you roll this d10, right? It's when you roll a 1. So every time the guy who has the positive quirk rolls a 1, he will remove 1 stress.
And so it's anytime you roll for an ability of your character that has a possibility of triggering.
Considering I've got 2 1s in this game already,
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say that she is a skilled gambler. Of course, she's never getting any stress, but you know.
I kind of wish I had that for
Oh, you
Mr.
don't.
Highwayman
Oh,
there,
no,
sitting
no,
on,
you're
I think,
fine.
6 stress at the minute.
So,
Yeah.
that's the first room cleared, and we're now left with our dungeon layout.
So because you've cleared the room, you have the choice to rest if you want. If you look at your quest card, you will see the campfire symbol if there is one. The campfire symbol with a number. So if you rest in a cleared room, and it can only be done in a cleared room, that means you can heal stress or wounds, and you decide you divide the number by your heroes as you want. But you must all be okay to rest, or you can choose to rest later because you don't need it now. You can only do this once.
In this case, we would get 8 for resting. Now, I have no damage or stress.
Yeah.
No, I've got 5 damage on the bounty hunter, but hey, you know, he can take it.
The only one that's a little beat up is the highwayman has 4 damage and 6 stress.
Yeah. I think this is probably a good time to pause and rest and clear that off, because we can then press on for another. Well, we have to pass another corridor before we get to our next room.
Well,
anyway,
you can, because you're in a room now, you can also scout. If you scout, that means everybody takes 1 stress, but you can reveal the adjacent rooms.
Currently, we'd only be revealing one
And you
adjacent
will
room.
only roll 1 exploration dice if you have scouted, instead of 2.
I'm thinking, let's camp.
yep.
So I will drop 2 points of damage, 6 points of stress to bring me back to nearly perfect condition. And now we need to decide, are we moving deeper in and then exploring, or are we going off the side passage that's on here?
And do you want to scout? If you want to scout, you each take 1 stress, you reveal the adjacent rooms, and you will only roll 1 exploration dice instead of 2 in the corridor.
I assume you can always scout after you've cleared a room before you go on. It's always an option. The fact
it's always an option. It's always an option to scout, but you don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't want to take the stress. Plus, because the light is down, it's not 1 stress; it's 2 stress.
Yes. Well, I mean, like, we could burn a torch now to bring that back up.
Yes, you could. You could do that.
I think probably do that. Burn a torch and then scout.
Okay. Burn a torch brings us back up to light level 3. And then at which point would you like to scout from? Here or here?
Well, that's another corridor, so we'd have to explore to get
When you
down
scout, yes, all the adjacent rooms are revealed.
Yeah. Well, the way the map's sitting at the minute, Leo, so we've got the room. To the right-hand side of us, there's a room, and then there's an empty corridor, and then it branches off in a T for 2 rooms. Would we scout all of those?
No, it's just the ones.
Well, if there is a dot, like a big dot, the scout stops at this dot, and you will have to stop at this dot. This dot.
Yeah, but we could move to that dot and then scout the other 2, could we?
Yes, you could do that.
So would you want to do that, Gerry?
Okie dokie.
All right, so we'll scout. So everybody takes 1.
Well, to get to
1
the big,
stress.
to get to the big dot, because we are talking about moving from our cleared room to that branching corridor, we'd have to roll an exploration dice for going down the corridor, or
Yes.
in this case,
Yes.
2, because it's not scouted.
I see.
So 2 rolls, then stress, scout, and then additional rolls whenever we go.
You can scout from the dotted the dot also.
Yeah.
You know, the big dot.
Yeah, but we would have to roll the exploration dice for moving to the dot, would we?
Yes, you would.
Yeah.
You still have to. Yeah.
Oh, it's up to yourself, Gerry. What would you want to do?
I'm happy enough to scout from here.
Okay.
And then just try this next adjacent room. We could go further into the dungeon and miss the other 2 curio rooms because they're right beside us, you know.
This is a fair point. All right, so I'll take 1 stress and 1 stress.
I've already taken my stress.
All right, and then we're just rolling 1 of the black dice each.
Yep.
Oh, and we get to flip and reveal this, don't we, Leo?
Yep.
So it is, in fact, a curio room.
See,
Well done, Gerry.
wise not to move on.
So Hellion gets a stress. He gets a blank. Okay. So the only one I'm worried about is the Hellion for a stress. I think I will just take that on the chin.
That's a trap.
No, it's
Oh,
this
that's
one.
the stress. Oh, right. So many dice about. Whereas I
Yep.
just got mine. I got a.
So the stress, when you get the stressful darkness
Oh yeah, it's
result,
2.
you can spend 1 torch provisioned, or you reduce the light by 1, or you suffer 2 stress.
I'll
So you
take
have to choose.
2 stress on myself, just because I don't want to do something that's going to affect the entire party.
Wise man.
Well, if I did that and you then had to take stress, you would be taking 3, if it was on a stress roll.
Because I wisely turned the wild card into a tool, this rubble
Can go away.
can just go away. And I got a blank for the bounty hunter, so it can also go away.
And then the
You know,
potions. does it-
personally, I would spend the shovel, the tool, only on the traps because they're more dangerous than the rubble. The rubble is only 1 damage per hero level.
Yeah,
You know?
but
It's not a big deal.
I don't want to get my
where-
hands dirty, Leo. I'm
I would save the tool for for the but you decide for a possible trap. A trap can be really bad because a trap is, if you roll a crit, it's 8 damage. If you do not roll a crit, it's 2 damage. So it's still more than the rubble. But you're right. You haven't rolled.
I haven't rolled the
so it's up to you.
Yeah. I'm quite content to spend our provisions on that because I am the person who's keeping us alive, and I don't want to chip a nail.
A quick question, Leo. So the little potion bottle provision, can it remove stress?
It's 1 stress or 1 blight.
In that case, I would possibly like to use both of those, Gerry, just because my Hellion's starting to get very stressed.
Sure.
Just before we move into the room. So that'll let me drop 2
Yes, you
stress.
can do that. You can absolutely do that.
And that puts the Hellion on 3. So, room card.
So, into the room, and the room is the ritual chamber. So that's even more delightful.
Yes.
This has... Aha.
You find it?
This actually has a raised area, which is a little different as well. So if people are in this purple raised dais in the center of the room, they get +1 accuracy and +1 range. The range is optional, if I remember correctly. So if you have something that only targets 1, you don't have to take the 2. So, but it gives you a more interesting firing position.
Yeah. Now, one of the important things about this particular room is the rooms we deploy in, I believe, cause stress if we remain in them, Leo.
They have these little orange flashes. And we also have...
a treasure chest each.
What sort of room is it? Is it a curio room again?
This is another curio room, yes.
Yep, so we are going into a fight, and then we're in the... what was the name of it?
The ritual chamber.
Ritual chamber.
So yeah, so the 2 with the flash marked on them, heroes ending their turn there suffer +1 stress.
Yeah. Not fun. Okay, so let's see who we get. So we get a bone courtier in slot 1.
Nope, because he's back.
Right.
So he's support.
It's slot 4.
We have another one of the brawlers.
He will be right up
Slot
there in the
1.
aggressive. Yep.
Yep. We have a bone soldier.
Oh, he also goes into there, so defensive.
And we have a Weber.
Oh, tiny Spydro.
Yeah, tiny spiders.
Excelente.
Itsy bitsy.
And just to check, Leo, so all of the cultists that we killed in the last room are now out of the game because of the necromancer, yeah?
Exactly, yes.
Okay. All right, so who goes where?
We
We
need
need a soldier.
Yep, and a spider.
Spider.
And the courtier.
Courtier. Okay, so the spider is in the ranged slot.
Sitting there on the dais.
Yep. And the courtier is in the support, so he's sitting here. Okay. Fun.
I can't wait to meet the undead king if he's got court down here somewhere.
Yeah. Well, the courtiers are really annoying in game because they literally will just take that goblet of poisoned wine and start throwing it at you.
Good.
And it stresses you.
Better again.
Okay, so that is our initiative cards shuffled. And I think we are ready to rock and roll. Okay, let's dive straight into it. So initiative
Yes.
has been shuffled. First things first, the brawler, is it the brawler?
The brawler.
Brawler gets to go.
Well, that's not great. Are you sure you're doing a great job leading us? Just saying.
Not particularly. I mean, like I'm trying my best, but it's kind of feeling like I'm just standing at the front going, okay, guys, let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
Well, Leroy Jenkins away. It will be rending for the old gods once again.
Now, from where he is, who is he after?
Well, he's after the closest. We're both equally close, but the Hellion is higher up the priority. So
So he's going to move forward 1 and swing.
move to there and swing for an accuracy of 8.
An accuracy of 8. Okay. I have a dodge of 1, so it goes to a 7.
Yep.
And a
10.
0, 10, he misses.
That's good.
I will take that all day long. Our next is another monster, so it's the soldier.
Yeah, you're doing this thing again where we all get killed up, aren't we? Do you have a plan in here, or is it just whoever survives?
You
kills
did hear the
most?
words Leroy Jenkins, right?
Okay. So he is also going to be using his first ability, which is the Graveyard Slash.
Okay.
Most wounded.
That'll be the Highwayman, because he's got 2.
No, Bounty Hunter's on 5.
Okay.
He moves a mighty 1 and has a range of 1.
So he will move to here.
Yep,
and
and attack.
stab you up.
He has an accuracy of 9, dropping to 8. Right, there's my little buffs. What a shame.
Yeah.
2. 2 will be a hit. Not a crit these days, though. Oh, no, it will be. No. Yes.
If
it
he's
will
on
be a
crit 1, it becomes crit 2.
Crit 2. Ooh. So his crit is worth 9.
Oh.
Which will put me on 14, and this is exciting because I only have 14 health. So, am I dead, Leo? Is it all bad? Is it horrible?
No, you're not dead.
Good.
You're at death's door. So because you have 14 hit points and you receive 14 wounds, you have to put your at death's door dice on your dashboard.
Yep.
There's a location for that. That means now every time a hero or a monster hits you with a normal attack, I mean, your bleed will not trigger it. But if a monster hits you, you don't take damage, you roll this dice. And if you get a skull, you're dead.
Completely dead.
You're dead.
Game over. Okay.
Well,
Game over.
for that character.
Him. He's out. You can still get a new character if you still have any live,
if the party...
Available hero. I think at the beginning of the quest, of the campaign, you have 2 heroes that you can get at any time.
Yeah, they're just standing in the village.
Yeah, standing in the village, but I mean they will join you in the dungeon. You don't have to go back to the Hamlet. They will be there.
That's okay.
Yep. Okay, so next initiative.
Yep. See if you can find a hero in there, Hellion
Oh,
leader.
no, I'm afraid not. It's going to be the spider who gets to go.
You are truly terrible. So furthest. So again, choices here is equidistant, in which case Hellion will get it in the face.
Okay.
Oh, hang on, no, this is a roll for that one. Sorry, because
Okay.
it's all positions, so roll. It may not be your Hellion.
3.
No, it will be the Hellion. That's
Okay.
right. So it's going to attempt to web. It has a range of 1, but that goes up to 2 because of where it is, so it can reach you without moving.
Well in range, yep. And then
And it has an accuracy of 9.
crit 2 because of light level and goes down to 8 because of my dodge. Yep. For a 2.
Crit 2, excellent.
Crits.
So 2 damage.
So 2 damage. Doink, doink.
And
And
then
I take a stress because it's a crit.
Yep, and then you'll like this.
Oh god, it's got lots of abilities on it.
So you get a stun.
Stun, which is the
this
stars.
Sparkly one here.
Stun for 2
So
rounds.
that's 2 rounds.
Do you have any resistance?
My
Stun
resistance is bleed.
You also get debuff for 2 turns.
Okay, debuff for 2 turns. Okay.
And it looks like you've been marked
Marked.
for 2 turns.
Yeah.
Oh dear, dear.
So that's good news. I think only he can get benefit of the mark.
Okay.
Oh, no, I tell you a lie. The Massive Brawler also has some mark bonuses.
Stuff. Oh goodies.
So that's a great combination to pull out there. I'm so glad you shuffled these.
Yeah. All right. Next, we finally have a hero. So the Hellion gets to do something back.
Probably for the best before you get stuck to a wall.
Well, I think the first thing the Hellion's going to do, and because he's still to go,
Courtier.
yeah. So the Hellion is actually going to move out of the stress room for 1 and for 2 to here, and then is going to use if it bleeds. So crit is currently 1 because of light levels. Accuracy is 9.
It has
Debuff.
dodge of 1. Debuff doesn't apply to you. It's
No,
when
a debuff
they
is
attack
only
you.
for monsters. It gives them +1 crit against you.
Yeah.
So hitting on an 8 with a possible 5 damage. Yep. For a 3,
And
So
stun,
5 damage.
when you have a stun, that means you reduce. You have only one action.
Oh, only one
A
action.
stun, yeah.
Oh,
will remove.
so I actually don't get to attack.
So you can move or attack, but not both.
I don't want to take the stress, so I'm just going to move.
Okay.
So next up,
And then you remove one of each stack, right?
at the end of the round. So hero for the bounty hunter is now active and free to go and do stuff.
I'll bleed out on the floor, I think, for a little bit. Yep, that's my turn.
Oh, really? You can't do anything while you're bleeding out like that?
When you're at death's door, that's just what you are? You are...
No,
Or
at
can you
death's
still
door, you can still do whatever
right.
you want.
Oh, in that case.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. It's just that when you receive damage from the enemy, you have to roll the at death's door dice.
Oh.
Hope that you won't get a skull.
So go kill some stuff up.
In that case, I'll definitely go and kill some stuff up. I'll move in here and attempt to collect bounty on the head of this bone soldier.
Okay.
Bone soldier, he has armor, so that's unfortunate. But we'll see if I hit him first. He has no dodge. So accuracy of 9. 1, so it'll be a crit. So it'll do 10 damage, but it's halved.
And you get one less stress, and so is everybody in your area if there's one. But
unfortunately, it's just me.
But one less stress.
Yeah, one less stress is always good. So it'll do 5 damage. Could have killed him outright, but not today.
Yeah. Still a good strike. Okay, next up is our last monster. So the courtier is going to do some stuff. What is the courtier going to do?
Well, he's in support, so he can only do his first ability, which is chucking a goblet on the most stressed person. That'll be the Hellion.
Yeah, that is indeed the Hellion.
Let me just spin it round for a cup of wine in the face. There we go.
Yeah.
It's like a night out in Coleraine.
So rolling for...
If this gives you PTSD, just tell us, Justin. We'll take it over.
Crit possibly of 2 because of light, and accuracy of 10.
Yeah.
So on a 7.
Do you have a debuff? Do you have a debuff?
Yeah.
Yes, I counted that in.
Okay.
So it hits for 3 damage, which is not super bad, but bad enough.
But it will also give you a stress.
It will give me a stress. Okay. Okay. So Dunskies. So on to our heroes. So that is the Highwayman. What would the Highwayman like to do? From where he is, he's got no real problems. He's got a move of 2. So I think I'm going to just let him move out of the area that he's in for 2, so that he's not picking up stress. And then he's going to shoot the hell out of the... what would be better? I think I'll shoot the Bone Soldier, because he's already damaged.
Yeah. Try and take them out completely.
And then that'll force the others out of position.
Yeah. And they are less likely to have initiative next turn.
So
You kill him.
Current crit on... I'll go with my pistol shot. So currently on possible crit of 2, accuracy 9. Does he have dodge? He has dodge 1, so it's 8. Or does he? He doesn't have a dodge.
He does.
So it's...
There he is
Oh,
then.
no, I'm shooting the skeleton.
Oh, you're shooting the skeleton? Oh,
Yeah.
in that case, no dodge, but he does have armor, so it will half your damage.
Yeah. So for a 2, so it crits for 9. Now, do we round up or do we round down?
It depends on the arrow. So in this case, we round up. So it'll be 5.
5 damage.
Since we only need 2 to kill him, it wouldn't have mattered if we'd rounded down anyway.
Yeah.
Because of the crit, one less stress, of course.
Yep, for myself and for the Hellion, because
Exactly.
he's in the same area, which is great.
So that goes away.
Then that puts our last one on to Vestal.
Yep.
Would you like to possibly heal the bounty hunter?
What? But then if I heal that, I can't loot this turn.
Jerry wants the shiny.
Because it's only I was going to say it's only a 1 in 10 chance, but it's not. It's a 3 in 10 chance of dying. I mean, that's fairly low. No, I'll move to here. And I'll throw a wee heal out to my best buddy because I'm so generous.
Right. Now,
Have some divine grace.
What's the range on your heal?
0 to 1.
0 to 1. So unfortunately, you've got the black space here in between, so I don't think you're in range. There's a wall between you.
I don't think the blacks... Are they conjoining places? Oh, in that case, I'll just move into the same space then.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So our survey says...
For a 3.
3, so that's a crit for 5 back.
Okay, no longer at death's door.
Yeah, and
Good choice.
and I lose a stress. So that's nice.
Okay.
Did you roll a 1?
No, but I rolled a crit. If I'd rolled a 1,
Okay.
I would have got a bonus one for my skilled gambler. But unfortunately, I only have 1 stress, so it's gone anyway.
Yeah. All right, so cards back in. I tell you what, I'll let you shuffle this time, Gerry. Seeing as you dislike my technique.
Well, your technique seems to be give the monsters all the first goes. I'm not sure if it's a technique or some sort of attempt to burn us all in our beds.
Yeah.
The question then becomes, how many times will the Hellion get stressed in this round?
Well, let's see who's going first. Hero.
See, that's how you do it.
All
Was
right,
that so
all
difficult?
right, all right. Well, hang on, you had better odds than I did, slightly. Okay, so Hellion is getting to go first. Hellion is going to...
Well, have you done your stack cleanup yet?
I have not, so I lose a stun, a debuff, and a mark.
Yep.
So that's all good. Right, so what's the best thing to do?
I would certainly consider killing one of them.
Oh yeah, I'm going to try and swing for the courtier. So accuracy of 9, crit possibly of a 1 because of light, and dodge of 1 on them, so 8. Yep. For a 6, it'll land. Courtier will take 5 damage and bleed for 2 turns. In fact, it's
He doesn't
2 bleed.
bleed. He doesn't
He's
bleed.
immune.
He has
He's-
immunity to bleed.
Ah.
Because,
He's dead. Bones don't bleed.
you know, yeah, skeletons do not bleed.
Then I am going to move because I know that Berserker's coming, or not Berserker, the Brawler's coming
Brawler.
soon. So if I move 1 to here, I should hopefully be out of range if he decides to come after me.
Bravely ran away. Is that what you're saying?
Brave Sir Robin.
That's one way of doing it.
Next, we have another hero. Well done,
See?
Gerry. All right, well, your bounty hunter can get to go.
I'm the best. Look how best I am. No, I'll clear the Weber now.
Okay.
So I'm just going to move in for 1 and then collect the bounty on the tiny spider of death. He has
5 health?
dodge of 1.
Dodge of 1, yeah.
So my accuracy 8 or less.
7's good.
7 will be a hit for 6. It only has 5 health. That's a
So
dead web.
it's very dead. So I'll take miniature away. Okay.
Great.
Next up then. Monster. So your brawler gets to go.
Brawler, he has a move of 2. He wants to rend for the old gods, which will be the closest.
Ah,
So
it would be
1, 2, 3, 1. Yeah, I think Highwayman is...
it's Highwayman and Vestal, because if you look at the way the tiles join here.
Yes, but Highwayman's higher up the priority, which is why
yes.
it's you.
Okay,
and not
Highwayman.
me. I knew you'd like that.
Yes, of course. All right.
I like the
so-
priority tracker, Leo. I really like not being hit ever. And it just seems to never hit me. It's
Yeah,
good.
it just seems to go, no, we'll hit Justin all day long. Okay,
Well-
so on the Highwayman, he's got a dodge of 1. What are you hitting on?
Accuracy of 8.
Okay, so that goes to a 7. I'm going to use the Speed Stone to make that a 6.
Ooh, clever.
And I guarantee you'll still hit me
He'll
just because
crit.
the world
He'll
hates me.
crit out of badness.
2.
2. It's not a crit, you'll be pleased to hear.
Okay. How much is it though?
It's only 3 damage,
Okay.
but
Other stuffs?
yeah, you're going to get 1 stress.
Okay, so I will take 1 stress. This is okay because he's only got 1 stress now.
You're going to get a debuff for 2 turns
Debuff for 2, okay.
and a bleed 1 for 3 turns.
Which will be 2 turns because I have resistance.
Good.
That's okay. Right, next up. What is hero. So Highwayman gets to go. I'm going to clear out the courtier. So I'm just going to shoot him in the face with a pistol shot. So crit of possibly 2 and 8 because of his dodge. For a 6. So he is dead.
Yes.
Bing, bing.
Look at that.
Awesome.
Okay.
It's a remarkably intuitive game when you start playing it, Leo.
Yeah.
I like
so
that.
Monster gets to go. No monsters left, so that goes away.
Yep.
We draw again. It's your Vestal is going to get to go now.
Excellent. I will heal. Yes. I will heal my delightful bounty hunter friend.
It's well seen who's the favourite.
I heal, but I don't crit.
So you'll drop how many?
I drop 3,
Okay.
which brings me down to a respectable 6, which is,
Yep.
I think, fine considering I was at death's door when we came in here. Oh, I was so bad.
And
Yeah.
then
So you
final
can
monster,
remove
monster has to go.
your dice. You know, even one. Even if you had healed just one, you remove
You remove the death dice.
The dice.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So ready for the next round?
Superb, yeah. Let's
Roll
get
them
on to round 3.
Let's see who's going first.
Monster.
Hero.
Oh, I'm shocked.
Yeah. So, what would be worthwhile doing here?
Have you anything that's 2?
I do. I have Iron Swan, which is range 2, but it's only when I'm in the aggressive stance.
You're
I am in the aggressive stance.
Yeah, that's why you're going first.
Okay.
Go.
So I will just Iron Swan. So accuracy base of 9 and current crit of 2. He has no dodge, no armor.
There's no dodge, no armor, correct.
Okay. So let's see what I get. For a 9. So it does land, and it does a 7 damage to him.
That's respectable.
And then
Your angry badger, was it? Your aluminium chicken? I can't remember.
And then I will move for 2. 1, 2, hit and run. Tactics are a good idea. Next. It is our next hero, so your bounty hunter. Can you finish him off?
Can I? I think almost undoubtedly so. Yeah, okay. I will just have to move in and hit him.
Okay.
Come hither for 2.
Yeah, you're at range 2.
So I could drag him in, and then that would also put a mark on him. And then I could collect bounty. If I miss, though, I'm going to look very silly standing up here. But we're going to try this because it's a nice combo and I haven't seen it yet. So
Okay.
come hither. Accuracy of 9. Our survey says 10. Well
You
done,
miss.
me. So I missed with that.
Uh-huh.
So I could try it again to put a mark on him for your highwayman.
Yep.
Although that will pull the highway. I could just put a mark on him, full stop.
If you like.
Yeah. Either way, I'll. What's your?
I can do up to range 2.
You can do up to range 2. He has 4 health left. So if anybody hits him, really, he's toast.
Yeah.
I'll just throw a mark on him
For a 10.
for 10, which will, because mark of death is accuracy 10.
Okay.
So he's marked for 3 turns with a debuff for 1 turn. So
All
I'll
right, you've
throw
already got
those on,
tokens.
which means he's more critable. And I believe that's all I'm doing up here on my dais as I do a little bounty hunter dance.
Okay. So next up is heroes. So my highwayman gets to go. Now, here's the question. Do I go for the kill, or do I go for the treasure and hope that the Vestal can finish it?
If you back away from him, I'll just wander off and pick up stuff myself with the Vestal. That's how that one goes.
Yeah. I will just shoot him in the face.
Entirely up to you, though. I don't mind.
So I will shoot him in the face with a pistol shot. So accuracy 9. For 7, it'll do it for 5 damage. So he'd be dead.
He's dead as well.
Bonk.
We never get to find out what was in the treasure chests. It was probably filled with
All the
explosive spiders or something.
Usually treasures are good.
Yeah, you say that. I've been bitten once before. Well, I say bitten, I was stabbed.
Well, seeing as my highwayman took the room, I will spend the torch and he will get the curio.
Okie dokie.
So pass me a curio, please.
That is your curio.
Iron Maiden. So because I've done this, I don't get any of the bad stuff. So +1 stress, a negative quirk, and 1 bleed for 3 turns. And then there's a trinket at the bottom.
Ooh.
So a rusty Iron Maiden stands against the wall, clasped shut. You feel tense as you try to open the devilish contraption. Alas, you pin yourself into one of the spikes by accident. You curse your luck as you break free, feeling nauseous and sick. So I take none of the bad stuff and I get a trinket.
There is your trinket.
There's the curio card back. Okay, so this trinket is the Caution Cloak. Scout without suffering any stress. On the flip side of that, to reactivate it, I have to let the light level go down by 1. So I will give that to the Bounty Hunter.
Okie dokie.
In fact, no, tell a lie. I'll give it to the Hellion.
Keep it for the Hellion.
Yeah, because the Hellion is currently our most stressed. Right.
So that's our second curio room cleared. That's another
So
XP
you
for the
gain
party.
another experience point
I've already put on.
Okay.
for the group.
And
And now you have to decide, you could keep on going, exploring, scouting, and just trying to get the last experience point because there's only one curio room left, or you could decide to go back to the Hamlet and leave this dungeon. You can leave a dungeon anytime, not just during a battle. Of course, you have to finish the battle, but once you have cleared the room, you can go back and leave the dungeon immediately.
So what's your new trinket allow you to do?
Basically, it allows me to scout without suffering any stress.
So we could, because I've got no stress,
And he's only got 1.
and that's the most stress, but it won't get stressed. So we could scout and see what the next room is, and
Before
then
we decide. I'm thinking, yeah, let's do that. So I'll flip this around. That'll take stress. And then what do we get?
And it's an empty
Empty
room. Right, in that case, I don't feel like trying to explore more of this dungeon.
I kind of agree with you. I think it's time to boogie
Well,
and go home.
The bounty hunter is really, he was at death's door, right?
Yeah, I'm getting better.
And we've got
I
some
might go for
folks
a
who
run.
are hurting and stressed out at the minute. So I think at this stage it's time to go home.
Okay. So you can abandon a dungeon at any point. It's the choice of you and your party to do that. So you don't have to complete a dungeon to complete it. We could have ran into some terrible rooms, almost lost everybody and leave without doing any XP.
Yeah.
Although
We got lucky.
That's bad in the long run for your games because
Yeah, if you're doing full campaign, you need to get the XP to level up your characters, level up their abilities, because otherwise, whenever
curious as
you
to where
head
our
to
curio was.
the boss dungeon,
I'm just being nosy now to see where the curio was. Oh, it was down the next corridor.
and what was the behind it?
A trap room. So we never.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Well.
We possibly could have made it, but honestly, I think it was wiser at that point just to get 2 XP and get out.
Yeah. So this would bring us to the Hamlet then.
To the Hamlet. So you each receive as many experience points as you collected. So that's 2 experience points for each hero. And you also have to put 2 experience points on the stagecoach, which means the next hero that you will enroll will get this experience as well.
So if we do go into a dungeon and we lose the highwayman because he's got such an extremely punchable face, apparently, we could then bring somebody in who's already leveled up to the party sort of level. They're not being brought in at level 1 when we're trying to punch level 3 things.
Now, if I remember right, we do have to roll a dice.
The bad thing with this exploration, you only explored 2 rooms and you only collected 5 gold. That's not much. In the Hamlet phase, you usually have to spend gold on top of sometimes experience or other things. You could still do something because you can also get gold in the Hamlet if you go where the trinket is, like the gypsy. I don't remember the name, but if you go to
the nomad wagon,
you could sell some trinkets there to get some gold and then spend it to some effects. You can relieve some stress. You can take away some negative quirks, and things like that, and you can level up. But it will cost you gold. And on this quest, you don't have much gold to spend.
Well, if we have a look then, so the first thing we do is we draw a town event to see how long we're going to be in town for.
Yeah.
So I've drawn the traveling merchants. It has two things. It has how long you're going to be there, in which case we have a little 2 sun symbol. So we're going to be here for 2 days, which means we can do things twice. And each hero can choose one of their provisions die to be whatever they want on the next run.
Ooh, that's nice.
Oh, that's very good.
That's a beautiful card. So we know we're going to be here for 2 days. Next thing we need to do is see where the butler,
the caretaker,
has wandered off to, because he blocks areas.
Slot 1.
So he's actually going to be propped up in the tavern door. Is it? No,
For a
1-2, survivalist. So we won't be able to visit the survivalist for additional provisions on the first day. Also, because of the necromancer, we can't go to the graveyard, which means we can't gain a virtue for the next run either. That's blocked until we've defeated him. But everything else is free range for us. So
now, if anybody really needed to go where the caretaker was, my Hellion actually has a town ability. So I can either start the next dungeon with a +5 buff, or I can intimidate to remove the caretaker from his location.
that's quite nice.
Yep.
I actually have a couple of quite tasty town abilities as well. First off, the bounty hunter can spend a day scouting ahead. He'll get 1 stress, but we will reveal a room in the next dungeon.
I see.
And then because we know we're going to be here 2 days, if the bounty hunter did that on day 1, on day 2, my Vestal could use her town ability, which removes 1 stress from your allies and gives them a 3-turn buff going into the dungeon.
The town ability for the highwayman is very selfish. It's just cleaning his guns, so he starts the next dungeon with a 6-turn buff.
See, it's not terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you can see that with the town abilities, there's quite a lot of interplay. And if you're, we're here for 2 days, so day 1, he could be off scouting while somebody else goes to the nomad wagon to try and find what other trinkets. We've got quite a lot of trinkets already, so possibly not. But you don't actually get the trinkets automatically. Those are just what she has for sale. Is that right? So
you can sell the trinkets that are revealed during the Hamlet phase. You can sell them for 4 gold,
right?
Or you can buy any of the 3 ones that have been revealed for 8 gold.
Right. So if we've come out of the dungeon, for example, the Sage's Book, which sounds terrible for me at level 1 with +2 accuracy, because most of her abilities work on accuracy of 9 or 12. The heal on 12, do I really need it? Maybe it's potentially better to hang on to that for higher level abilities that might have a lower accuracy. I don't know. Or you could go, well, we don't really need this. We don't need the cloak.
We'll
sell those.
The cloak is a little bit.
Sell those and buy the archer's ring or whatever else she happens to have. So there's a lot going on. And the town itself or the hamlet is also upgradable.
So you can upgrade different locations around here to make them work better.
It costs 20 gold to level from level 1 to level 2, and then 40 gold from level 2 to level 3. Sorry.
Now, there is one thing I'm noticing is, trinkets would be nice, but they feel like a real luxury because even though we've came back from the dungeon, we're still stressed, we're not healed. We have to start using the different locations in the town to bring ourselves back up to fighting readiness. So the people who are injured are going to have to go and pay gold to heal up as much as they can.
Yeah, visit
people
the
who are stressed,
sanitarium.
Yeah, people who are stressed need to go and visit, I think it's the tavern, to start dropping stress, and all of that's going to cost us gold.
Yeah, or you just have to live with it, and your next campaign game, you go in a little bit under full. You just live with the fact that you couldn't afford to get all the heals off, and maybe Vestal's first turn is going to be spent healing people. It's a fascinating dynamic that it brings into the campaign system.
I really, really like it, and I'm really excited to see just how far the team at Mythic can take it during the Kickstarter. Because, Leo, I know you guys. I know you've got some crazy things planned.
Oh, yes. Trust me, this campaign is going to be super exciting because we have lots of things to show. We have planned for plenty of surprises, and the options in these games are so numerous. It's going to be really a cool campaign.
And one of the things I've always seen you do in previous campaigns, I hope you're going to continue to do in this one, is your What's Up Wednesday, where people who are backing or are thinking of backing can dive in and actually, you know, get questions and get some live engagement with yourself.
Oh yeah, we'll do that. Of course we will. Yes, we will have several lives where people can interact and ask questions, and we will reveal many things as we go. For this campaign, not everything will be revealed day one, you know, so you will see the add-ons and the expansions during the campaign, and at some point we will have the all-in revealed, and you know, it will be the end of the campaign. But in the meantime, we will explain and show the expansions as we go.
Cool. All right, so I think we have covered everything for this Let's Play. This is a game I am very excited for. If you are curious about this world, the video game is available for you to go out and grab.
If you're watching this, the Kickstarter is now live.
Yep.
Because if we've set this up right, this goes out at the same
Yes.
time the Kickstarter goes. So
Excellent. Yeah, so everybody, are you excited for Darkest Dungeon from Mythic Games? Get your comments in below if you have questions. I'm sure Leo and the team will be keeping an eye out. Leo, thank you for joining us as always. We do miss you here in Ireland.
Thank you.
As soon as
I wish I
lockdown's
was with you. I wanted to play with you, but I mean, this is not too bad.
Yeah, buy me dinner first, Leo. All right, guys. So get your comments in below. We will move on. Stay safe out there. Goodbye.
We hope you enjoyed this Let's Play. Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.